guys, so James Charles posted on his Twitter and he was like, it's liberating when people start to see what you've been seeing all along, and I feel like this is an entire jab towards Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, and Trisha Paytas. Now Trisha posted on her YouTube and her Twitter, and she was completely going in on Shane Dawson and Ryland, and she literally called them really bad words. Not going to be saying on here because this is supposed to be PG-13, honey. 13. She went in on her video, further went in on them, and she called Shane manipulative and said that Shane would feed her information about people like James Charles, and that would basically make her feel like she needed to defend him. And that's why she, over the past year or so, has been going in on James Charles on her TikTok. Literally, James Charles making fun of him for being friends with Charlie, and this entire debacle kind of actually makes a lot of sense now. And I'm also realizing that Shane was so happy and forthcoming with defending all these people such as Jeffree Star, Jake Paul, all these people that didn't really need to be defended, when he could have, defended people that actually need help, that are being bullied. For example, his friend. I understand that, things are very complex and we don't really know the full story because we only know things from Trisha's point of view. But, I heard, it's like, personally, if a friend did that to me, I'll be really upset. I'll be really, really, really upset. But, it kind of sucks that Trisha has to go through all of this. I'm glad that she's finally saying that she's been manipulated in the past, and hopefully, this helps her and moves her a step closer towards recovery and just dead weight coming off. Just this entire situation is just completely awful. She even went on to say that Ryland was leeching off Shane, and to be honest, that sort of makes sense because I remember when I was in high school and I used to watch Clever News. That's where I known Ryland from, on the internet, and fast forward to a couple years later, he's like this huge star, and she even went into shade him even more, that people watch Ryland because of Shane, and he's like basically nobody on the internet, no one cares about him, and like that was really shady, girl. That was shady, and he was like, wow, Trisha, you're really letting it all out, like you're really letting it all out, not leaving anything for discussion. She was just like, boom, like I'm just gonna destroy all these people. She destroyed them. She ended it. Crazy. Completely awful. So another thing that came out is that Peter Mon, who hung out with Shane Dawson and then was going to hang out with Trisha Paytas, stated in a video from last year that Shane Dawson called Trisha a pathological liar. And to be honest, it makes sense. And Trisha also mentioned this as well, that he consistently tried to discredit her online, and she's been hearing this for a long time. And I feel like this is because he didn't want a situation that's actually happening right now where Trisha decides to open her mouth and spill a lot of tea. He wanted people to think that she's crazy and she's a liar, so people wouldn't really believe whatever she said. And I feel like Trisha didn't really help the situation either from her past, because there's been a lot of instances where people side-hype what she was saying, and she's just acted really badly on the internet. So I feel like that kind of feeds into the entire narrative that Shane Dawson has been trying to create, because there's some people on the internet that don't really believe her because she's really done outrageous things on the internet, and people are just like, is this another situation where you're pretending to be transgender or you claim to have DID? And another thing that I wanted to bring up is that Trisha mentioned that Shane Dawson never sends text messages, he sends voice memos because he's scared. Well, from a different perspective, I feel like that's sort of shady, because he doesn't want people to be able to, record whatever he says or put it up on the internet, which is very similar to what Jeffree Star also does. He doesn't send text messages, he sends voice memos, and that's pretty shady and manipulative. Like, I feel like if you're saying things that don't need to be screenshotted or aren't bad and just basic friendship things, like, why do you need to hide that? Why do you need to hide that? And this brings me back to Tati's video, when Tati said that she is having, she's scared of Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson and this sort of entire cult thing, and these people manipulative and they fed her information. This kind of corroborates Tati's story about them, and corroborates how upset she was and how she wanted to take legal action. I feel like Shane is a sheep in wolf's clothing, or a wolf in sheep's. I don't know how that phrase goes. Correct me in the comment section down below if you know. I feel like, the truth never goes unheard or never stays hidden forever. At some point it comes out and people actually see you for who you are, and I feel like this is one of those moments where the truth is coming out. Little by little, it's coming out. All the pieces are coming together little by little, and it's really crazy and sad. And to me, like, I kind of, I like seeing people redeem themselves, and I like people coming back from a bad place. But sometimes, like, I don't think it's possible. For instance, like someone like Jeffree Star, I do think there's like probably like a good side to him, but the bad side probably outweighs the good from what we've been hearing from other people, right, on the internet. But you know what, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below, because this entire situation is just getting worse. I feel bad for Trisha, because what was said to her basically did not need to be said. It was really awful, and people are mean and disgusting and vile, and I don't think it is okay whatsoever. Do I think that Shane needed to publicly defend her or whatever? Maybe not. Like, it doesn't really matter to me if they treated her well in person, but that seems not to be the case from Trisha's point of view. You know what I mean? So let me know what you think. And like, dislike, subscribe if you like this sort of content. Bye.